Alright, so a ton of people have asked me to upload some Marvel Rivals gameplay. So I play ranked all the time. I love Marvel Rivals. I used to play quick play a lot, but now I just focused on ranked. And I've made it to Celestial 3 this season. That was my highest one. However, if you've played ranked, you know it's up and down, up and down. Sometimes you win 1,000 in a row and then you lose 1,000 in a row. It's just hit or miss. It depends on your teammates. Sometimes you get good teammates. Sometimes you get pretty good teammates and one bad player. Sometimes you get all bad players. It's just the luck of the draw. So this was a Grandmaster gameplay. I wasn't quite Celestial when I recorded this. But at least it's not a quick play match or some kind of bot lobby like that. I mean, this is legit a Grandmaster lobby. So I flexed. I play anybody. I've got a ton of characters, Lord. And I saw our teams line up and I was like, oh great, we don't even have a tank. So we double banned Penny. We had a Hawkeye ban and we had an Invisible Woman ban. We didn't even have a tank. So I thought about it. I waited for this guy to pick. Nobody else was going tank, so I was like, oh, great. But eventually, they finally picked a tank, and we got Thor. So a good co-op with Thor is Angela, one of my favorite characters in the game. And if you weren't aware, she does have a team up with Thor, which is pretty beneficial to him. It does nothing for you. So I wasn't recording my live gameplay for this particular match, but I think I turned my mic on at 1 or 2 points to talk to teammates. I can't remember. So I'll just show you how I actually play as Angela. So I'm not the best player by any means, but some games I do really well. Again, it just depends on your teammates. It's hit or miss what kind of lobbies you're going to be in. So a lot of people will say, well, just go straight for the back line with Angela and try to pull the healers up. I don't really like to do that. I mean, it depends on the comp of the team, but I saw the Black Panther and the Captain America kind of targeting my healers, so I dove back there for a bit. But I kind of do the same gameplay loop, or at least I try. And you'll notice it throughout this footage, hopefully. Now, Angela has a pretty good shield. It's not as bad as Rogue's, but obviously it's not as good as Doctor Strange's or even Magneto's. And you'll notice I tend to do an animation cancel as well. So you can either spear, or you can melee spear, or you can melee spear and then shield, which will make you spear faster a little bit. So I try to do all of those, and I try to throw in my spear that throws down as well, the Judgment Spear. But basically, I just try to be as annoying as possible. You can see I was all over this Captain America. Sometimes I got to pull on him, and then I did the melee plus the spear. And remember, when you drop down with the Judgment, it creates that space in the middle. And then anyone that's in it will either take damage if they're enemies, or if I hit someone while I'm in it, any teammates around get some bonus shield. So they had quite a bit of a lead here. They were up 42% before we finally capped it. And again, I was all over this Captain America, just trying to be a menace to him because he was all over my healers and my DPS. He wasn't the greatest as far as I could see. So I do have my ult here. And that was pretty risky because there were 4 people there. It was basically a 4v me there. And I threw my spear down to try to hold him in with my ult. And I didn't get any kills out of it, but we did maintain the point. So it's not like it was a complete waste. And now I'm the only one left, and I'm getting bullied a little bit by Thor. Thor is a huge counter to Angela because he can disrupt you with his L1, which is that little grounding effect move that he has. But again, we reclaimed the point here, and we're up 58% now. I had some pretty good healers here. I came close to dying multiple times. Sometimes I'll stand here with just my shield out to try to block projectiles and things like that. I see a Jeff by himself over here, so I give him a little tickle, but somehow he got out of my dash. I don't know, that happens sometimes. It's supposed to be if you grab someone with your dash, then you take them all the way to the end of the dash, but sometimes they just like melt off to the side. It's very weird. And they had a Black Panther, which is very strange in this day and age. I mean, BP used to be a menace, but again, with how strong supports are and a lot of counters to him, he's just not that good. Jeff completely whiffed on his ult, so this team was not the greatest, for sure. Now, when a Cloak and Dagger ults, I like to pull them out of it and try to kill them to end the ult. So I missed right there, 100% whiffed. That's frustrating. Now, when Magneto ults, I shield right in his face, but I whiffed on that as well, and my cloak died as a result. So 2 blown plays right there by me. I should have, number 1, taken the cloak out of her ult and killed her. Number 2, blocked that Magneto ult. So I biffed it hard. And then they came in with a Texas tornado there from Storm, and somehow I didn't die. I must have had the best heals of all time, and I cleaned up with my axes. I'm 18-0 after round 1. It looks like their Storm is doing good, and their Cloak is doing good. Everyone else, not so great on their team. My team's just okay. We have a 10-3 DPS, a 12-3 DPS. The BP obviously got to our backlines a little bit because some of them died multiple times. But our Thor is pretty good too. So look at what happens in the chat right here. This was actually pretty cool because someone leaves me a comment. I can't remember what it says, so we're going to find out here in just a second when they put it in the chat. Right there. So the Thor says, "How do you get better, Angela?" And I didn't actually see that. I don't know what I was doing. I was practicing my melee combos, but I didn't see it. And someone else replied and said, "Practice." So I didn't even answer. Normally I love typing in the chat because I have a keyboard hooked up and I can type really, really fast. So I love talking to people via chat. But for some reason I missed that comment. So I saw Thor was picking on this mag, so I drag him to the center and I clean him up there. And then Mag respawned back here, so I pulled him in again. He must have been quite frustrated. Sometimes you just have to hold the shield up and retreat. But they swapped to Wolverine to counter both our tanks, and I poke his eyes out right there. And then I ult the remaining whole team there. Luckily, we had a pretty decent Thor who was right there with me to help mop everyone up that I grabbed. And Angela is a huge counter to Scarlet Witch as well. I don't know if I demonstrate that in this video, but anytime she does her ult, all you have to do is that right there. Dash into her and pull her, and she's toast, which is hilarious and frustrating for them. But you can see I'm deep in the back line, and she's getting pocketed. I should have focused on the Cloak, but I thought, nah, I could get her. And I eventually did, which was pretty sweet. So I try to pick a target and bully them a bit, and sometimes I stay in my axe form a bit too much. Then I saw this Venom not even playing, and I just bald bull charge him right there. So they kind of gave up at this point, or at least a few of them. And that's always a great feeling, to know you bullied them into submission this early on. Because usually in this domination map, the people that win the first map lose the next two. And we won the first one, so I was anticipating getting smoked the next two maps. But, well, as you'll see, now I almost died there. But Thor pulled the Wolverine from me. I probably should have died, but yeah, my Thor saved my life there. Now here, let's see if I pull this Cloak out of the ult. I missed again! Oh man, I could have pulled her right off the edge there. So again, 2 biffs on my pulls. This was not my greatest match. Let's see if I block that Magneto on. No, I run like a chicken. I tuck the tail and run. But I'm right back in the fray. I bother them just a little bit. I pull the Wolverine out. So again, ooh, look at that grab. He Jordan me there. I'm in the midst of everything. And I'm still alive. 68 health. But my healers keep me up. And then we bully the Magneto a little more. So, surprisingly, no deaths at this point. We're up 87%. They do have it at the moment. But again, we bully this Magneto who is getting bullied all day. Instead of pulling him into their own team, I pull him out. But then he instantly retreats back. I see him all right there. So I try to grab as many as possible. We got an amplifier up, which should clean this all up, and it does. I hate that Wanda stun so much. Boy, I'm not showcasing... Oh, I get an easy pick there on Magneto. I'm not showcasing any of her capabilities. I've had such better matches where, like, I drag people off the edge, I stop ults, I block ults, all sorts of things. But this one was unique because I didn't die. 27-0. I mean, that's a hard feat in a Grandmaster lobby. Even if you have an enemy team that's terrible, I mean, to not die one single time, that's hard to do. I can't tell you how many times I've not died once in Grandmaster. I've came close to having a perfect game like this, but not many times at all. And of course, Angela has one of the best MVP screens. This is the legendary one of my favorite MVP screens in the entire game. Let's take a look at some of the stats here. So I was almost Grandmaster 2 after winning. So I had the most kills with 27. I had the most final hits with 13. And look at the comment from Gundam Lover. It says, "W Angela for real." What an accomplishment that is to get someone saying that. That was from the Rocket. So most kills. I didn't have most damage though. Someone said Temu Lord Storm. That's kind of funny. But a flawless team. These were all randoms. I didn't know any of them. And I checked my highlights. Let's see. What was the highlight here? Highlights take so long to load in sometimes. Such a pain in the butt. It should just, boop, instantly get there. Like I said, 1v1. I don't remember this. Oh, that's the one where the Jeff melted off my pull. Like, why did that happen? It's not much of a highlight. Do I even get a kill? Okay, I got the Storm. I get the Thor, too. I ran into the Thor. Did you see how that happens? What a terrible highlight. So this was by far a mediocre game. It was just the... Oh, I do get another kill. It was just the fact that I went undefeated. That's why I wanted to upload this. I've got so many games where I play Angela and I do all the things I talked about. The awesome pulls, the awesome pull off the maps, the best blocks, the Wanda annoyance. But hey, I had a pretty solid game. A lot of damage blocked. 8,000 damage, 13 finals, 27 overall kills. That's Angela for you in Grandmaster. Sometimes she's great, sometimes she's not. This time, she was amazing. So there you go. That's all there is to it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and a like was always appreciated.